Welcome to our YouTube video on surprising things you probably didn't know about money. We all know that money makes the world go round, but did you know that there are some mind-blowing facts about money that you've probably never heard before? This video will take you on a journey through the fascinating world of money and reveal some of the most surprising and intriguing facts that you've never heard before. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to have your mind blown. Have you ever wondered why US dollars are green? It's actually a fascinating story. Back in the mid-1800s, the US government began issuing paper currency to replace coins, which were heavy and difficult to carry around. At that time, there were no laws regulating the color of money, so banks and other financial institutions could issue their own paper currency, which often had intricate designs and different colors. However, this led to a lot of confusion and fraud. So, in 1862, the U.S. government passed the Legal Tender Act, which established a national currency and required that all paper money be the same size and color. The government decided to make the currency green because it was a color that was not easily replicated by counterfeiters using the technology of the time. The green color was achieved by using a special blend of ink made from iron oxide and tannin, which was both durable and difficult to reproduce. The color proved so popular that it has remained the standard for U.S. currency to this day. It turns out that coins can last a surprisingly long time, with some coins still in circulation after more than a century. In the U.S., the lifespan of a coin varies depending on the denomination. Pennies, which are made primarily of zinc, can last for up to 25 years in circulation. Nickels, which are made of copper and nickel alloy, can last for up to 30 years. Interestingly, the oldest U.S. coin still in circulation is the Indian head penny, which was minted between 1859 and 1909. While it's rare to find one of these coins in your pocket change, they do occasionally turn up, and their longevity is a testament to their durability of coins. Of course, coins can become worn or damaged over time, which is why the U.S. Mint periodically retires old coins and replaces them with new ones. But it's still impressive to think that a small piece of metal can last for decades or even centuries in circulation and continue to be a useful part of our everyday lives. Believe it or not, it actually costs more to make a penny than it's worth. In fact, it currently costs the U.S. Mint about 2 cents to produce each penny. The reason for this is that pennies are made primarily of copper, which has become increasingly expensive over the years. In addition, the cost of production has gone up due to rising energy and labor costs. Despite the fact that pennies cost more to make than they're worth, they remain an important part of their currency. This is due in part to the sentimental value that many people attach to them, as well as the fact that they are still used in a variety of transactions. Some people have suggested that the U.S. Mint should stop producing pennies since they cost more to make than they're worth. However, others argue that pennies serve an important role in their economy and that getting rid of them could have unintended consequences. Have you ever thought about how dirty money can be? It turns out that the bills and coins in your wallet are actually quite filthy and can harbor all sorts of bacteria and germs. Studies have found that money can carry a variety of harmful microbes, including E. coli and Staphylococcus aureus. This is because money is frequently exchanged between people and can come into contact with all sorts of surfaces and substances. One study even found that paper money can harbor more germs than a household toilet. It's a surprising fact, but it's true. To make matters worse, many people don't wash their hands after handling money, which can spread these germs even further. One simple step is to wash your hands regularly, especially after handling money. It's a little unsettling to think about how dirty money can be, but it's important to be aware of these risks and take steps to protect yourself. After all, nobody wants to get sick from handling a few dollars. Have you ever wondered where the dollar sign comes from? It turns out that the symbol we use to represent the US dollar has a long and interesting history. The first recorded use of the dollar sign can be traced back to the late 18th century, when it was used to represent the Spanish peso in the American colonies. The symbol was actually a shorthand way of writing the word peso. The P and S was written on top of each other to create the familiar S-shaped symbol we use today. Over time, the symbol became associated with the US dollar as well, and it has been used to represent both currencies ever since. Interestingly, the origins of the dollar sign are still somewhat mysterious. There are several theories about where it comes from, including the idea that it was inspired by the coats of arms of Spanish noble families, which often featured two pillars with a banner draped between them. What is the oldest currency still in use? It may surprise you to learn that the answer is the British pound sterling. The pound sterling has a long and fascinating history, dating back over 1,000 years to the Anglo-Saxon period. The first coins to be minted specifically as currency in England were produced in the late 8th century during the reign of King Offa of Mercia. Since then, the pound has undergone many changes and fluctuations, but it has remained a staple of British currency for centuries. Today, it is still used not only in the UK, but in some British overseas territories as well. One interesting fact about the pound is that its name actually comes from the Latin word libra, which was a unit of weight used in ancient Rome. This reflects the fact that currency was originally based on the value of precious metals like gold and silver, which were weighed to determine their worth. Have you ever stopped to think about what paper money is made of? It turns out that despite its name, paper money is not actually made of paper. Instead, modern currency is typically made of a blend of cotton and linen fibers, which gives it a unique texture and durability. This material is often referred to as rag paper, and it has been used for currency production for centuries. The use of rag paper for currency has a number of benefits. For one thing, it is much more durable than regular paper and can withstand the wear and tear of daily use much better. Additionally, it is much harder to counterfeit than regular paper, which helps to prevent fraud and protect the integrity of the currency. So, why do we still refer to it as paper money? The name likely comes from the fact that early forms of currency were actually made of paper, but these were much less durable and secure than modern currency. Have you ever stopped to consider just how much ink goes into printing the paper money we use every day? It turns out that the answer is quite a lot. In fact, it takes tons of ink to produce even a relatively small batch of banknotes. The reason for this is that banknotes are printed using a special process known as intaglio printing, which requires a large amount of ink to be applied to the paper. This type of printing involves engraving the design onto a metal plate, which is then inked and pressed onto the paper under high pressure. In order to create the intricate designs and security features that are present on modern banknotes, a lot of ink is required. This ink is specially formulated to be both durable and difficult to counterfeit, ensuring that the currency remains secure and trustworthy. It may surprise you to learn that the answer is the $100,000 bill, which was issued by the United States government in 1934. Despite its impressive face value, this banknote was never intended for public use. Rather, it was used only for transactions between Federal Reserve banks and the U.S. Treasury, and was never circulated among the general public. In fact, the $100,000 bill was not even available to collectors until the 1960s, when a small number of them were released into the market. Today, these banknotes are extremely rare and valuable, and are considered a prized addition to any numismatic collection. So why did the U.S. government print such a large denomination banknote? The primary reason was to simplify large transactions between government agencies and banks, and to streamline the movement of large amounts of money. Did you know that the U.S. dollar is used as an official currency in countries other than the United States? It may come as a surprise, but several other countries have adopted the U.S. dollar as their official currency. One notable example is the Republic of Ecuador, which adopted the U.S. dollar in 2000 as a means of stabilizing its economy. Other countries that use the U.S. dollar as their official currency include El Salvador, Panama, and Zimbabwe, among others. In addition to these countries, the U.S. dollar is widely used as a secondary currency in many parts of the world, particularly in countries with unstable economies or high inflation rates. This is because the U.S. dollar is widely recognized as a stable and reliable currency and is often used as a means of preserving wealth in uncertain times. And there you have it, folks. We've just uncovered some of the most surprising and fascinating things about money that you probably didn't know before. From the color of U.S. dollars to the oldest currency still in use, The world of money is full of interesting facts and stories. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more great content like this. And be sure to let us know in the comments which fact you found the most surprising or interesting. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.